With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Here we go. Here we go. Hey, 280.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Throwing is Wilson. Going right side here, and that's complete. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
36 power. 52's the mic, boys. 52. Watch the run. Hey, 0, 15.
From the 41, Wilson. He'll hit Jackson, complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's Wilson to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Holt. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. In for the score. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Yeah, after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A first carry for the legend, it's Bo Jackson. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Bang, 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 bang. Check it, reload.
On third down, here's Bo. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Let's go, baby. Mike 55, Mike 50.
Hey, team 6, team 6.
Now they'll throw with Brady. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Sacked by the outside backer, Telvin Smith.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Here's Brady to throw. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Needed 16. They got 17 on third down. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 47. They run on first down with Jackson. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. From midfield, here's Brady. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and his crew. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our 2 quarterbacks, certainly 2 of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
down these two. Foul down these two. Let's go.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. On second and 15 now, Mahomes. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The 2017 All-Pro Darius Slay there in coverage, knocking it away.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense, too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Mahomes going to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way.
Wait, set. 29. Alpha. Check. Shift. Watch the shift.
On 1st down, Jackson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A solid pickup of 13 sets them up 1st and goal. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Now Saquon Barkley, and he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. Now Brady. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off that he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Saquon Barkley taking it in. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. It's up and good, and it'll give his guys a 7-0 lead. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 1st down, Mahomes. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy. To have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They go play action. Now Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Well, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Now remember, they were unsuccessful earlier in this first quarter. Going for it on 4th. They're going to try a 2nd time. Now here's Mahomes. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. 21 yards there, a big play on 4th down.
I know at retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissues. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And again, it's Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really competent throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run with Jackson. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and our drive continues here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it 2nd and 7. The last run got 3, now here's 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, this is Jackson. Levante David in on the tackle.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
From the gun on 3rd down, Brady. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. This offense converted once on fourth down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They'll try and run for it. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. 27 yards, a big play there on fourth. That's a spot where that goal line defense comes back to hurt you.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because normally that goal line defense stops things close to the line of scrimmage. But if somehow there's a breakthrough, as we just saw there, there's plenty of room to roam after that, and he took full advantage of it.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. On the run, it's Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. From the gun, it's Brady. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, Charles, if you think so far the early part of the preseason, who has stood out? If you take a peek back at the draft, the first round, it was pretty defensively minded, but there were 3 quarterbacks taken. Kyler Murray first, Daniel Jones 6th, Dwayne Haskins 15th. Of those guys, they've looked pretty good.
I agree with you, Brandon. When you talk about those 3 quarterbacks, and you're right, the rest of the draft, we're talking about big linemen, right? We're talking about defensive players, not a lot of skill players in the first round. But let's take the quarterbacks very quickly. Kyler Murray, by acclamation, went to Arizona. Everyone excited about it. And I think his team remains excited about his prospects. They're eager to see him play. He became the starter as soon as he was drafted. Daniel Jones, that was a different situation in New York. The fans weren't real excited about him coming in. But the reason they drafted him has a similar demeanor and talent to Eli Manning. And he's acquitting himself quite nicely in the early going. And Dwayne Haskins a little more up and down in Washington. But they love the big arm of this guy. And he's back at home. Remember, he grew up in...
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. That's sacked by Khalil Mack. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Now Mahomes. And he's going to go down again. Khalil Mack in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. A surprising move to go for it, predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off, and the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. They'll run on first down. Jackson. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Holt. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That one, a first down pickup of 8. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is.
to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On the run, it's Bo Jackson. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Let's make these babies crawl all the way back. 25, check 25, check 25.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. And Bryant's kick is good. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff...
The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now a pass hauled in downfield, and he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
At the 42-yard line.
Hey, set, wide, 80. Check, watch 54, watch 54. Let's go.
Now a give, right side. It's Jackson. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
At the 37-yard line.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full swing.
They run again with Jackson. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. On 3rd down, this is Jackson. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. So the kick from here, a field goal, would have been right at 53 yards. But instead, offense out there. They're going for it. Brady to throw for it on 4th down. And this is caught by Jackson. Touchdown! Deshaun Jackson, 36 yards. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for this.
And he will take it in for the touchdown. A big play there. 74 yards. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit. We were just saying off-air during halftime, could they mount a comeback, and how would it start? Well, it started in a hurry.
Yeah, they have to get back into the game, right? So if you're going to do that, you think to yourself, we need points right here on the opening drive. But even in their best game plan, did they expect it to be a one-play drive and put the points on the board? Probably not.
No, probably not, but they got it in a big way. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Throwing now is Brady. Throw left side complete. It's Holt. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Run 80! Run 80! They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. Hey, ball 66.
That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8.
54 Mike. 54 Mike. Check, check. Check it. Reload.
They do go for it. It's Brady. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Holt. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one.
No, 66.
A first down carry for Barkley. Accelerating, and off he goes. And touchdown! Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
His guys take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm. But the ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by the Hall of Famer Ken Houston, and they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Hey, 20. Mike 54. It's a party now. It's a party now.
On first down, it's Jackson. 20. There he goes left side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our 2 quarterbacks, certainly 2 of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Yellow. There's a water, right? Watch the slit.
Mahomes now on first down. He'll set up the screen to Marcus Allen. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the screen there. It's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
43. Attack.
They'll run it with the 85 MVP, Marcus Allen. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long.
Why? Color. Who do you want? Hey, 43, 15.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. And to the right side here, it's Allen. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. Here we go, 4th down, Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Jalen Ramsey with a sack on the corner blitz. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Holt. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. Now Matt Bryant on for the field goal. The kick by Bryant is good. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
They'll run with Allen, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Over the middle, he'll get it to Harrison. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go.
Now a give, right side. It's Allen. There to make the tackle, Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack in on the tackle. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 40-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. On 2nd down now, it's Allen. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
You got to get moving, man. Man moving. You got to get that. 5-2 is the Mike. Mike 5-2. Mike 5-2. Man out, man out, man out.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Holt. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now a carry for Allen. And an alley to run. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Marcus Allen, 34 yards. And the Falcons have taken the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. Hey, 66.
Now Jackson. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20.
All day, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Wait, 53!
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a give right side. It's Jackson. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Another try for Barkley. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. So it's 3rd and goal, and now the question, can this Falcon defense stand tall once more? They'll try the ground game with Jackson, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run, and his guys are going to retake the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth. This
is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. 552.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Harrison. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Over the middle, complete. It's Holt. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Final shot before the half from Mahomes. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. He's going to loft one, deep left, into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 38-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Holt. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards on the play, first down.
At the 47-yard line.
Yellow. Let's go, Blue Lady. 50. Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
Mahomes now on first down. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Snap coming at 1, and it's Mahomes. Allen here on the screen. Room to run inside the 40. Unable to corral him. He fights through. It's a gain of 34.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely look for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now a toss play. Allen. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They stay on the ground with Allen. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
15. Mike's 50. Cut.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their background. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Watch out. He's crashing.
They'll run with a big man, Bo Jackson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Back now in Atlanta. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Watch the pass.
40's my.
Working from the gun, it's Brady. And able to haul it in is Kittle. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run here with Bo. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. They'll run again with Jackson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons 16.
And a 1st down.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They'll run on 1st down. Jackson, and the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
At the 17-yard line.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Jackson as he'll stay on the ground. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. Brady to throw. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Bryant's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Throw on the right side, complete to Harrison. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, first down Falcons.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Mahomes to throw. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. To throw is Mahomes. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
He's back to throw. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Yellow. Argolani. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Yellow. Watch the screen. Check. Check.
Back to throw. Mahomes. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. One final try for Mahomes. Now in desperation. And this is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Marvin Harrison finding the end zone on the game's final play, as they are now an extra point away from perhaps stealing one here in the final minute. The kick is good, and can you believe this? They win it with 0. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
At their own 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And now look at him go. The 20, 10, touchdown Titans. A big play there. 68 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. First play from scrimmage all the way into the end zone. And look, the pass was good, but that run after the catch, that's what was really impressive.
And I think the big question I have is, where were the safeties? Where was the tackling? Because going into this game, they had to know that they were going to be tested. That was a part of the defense that had to stand up. And on that play, not even close.
Wait, set. Round 80. Round 80.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go. Spurs.
Wait, what do you hit?
They'll start here with Jackson. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll run now with Bo Jackson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now it's Jackson. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. Shotgun now for Brady. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick.
Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. Touchdown, Titans. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
They'll take over. First down and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Wait, set. Wait, 80. 50. My 50.
And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense.
Let's go.
They'll have two remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Wait, set. Wait, 20. Hey, 66. Check it, reload.
Throwing on first down is Brady. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for the touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 76 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, one word for that opening play call, and that is aggressive, but it worked. First play from scrimmage, long touchdown pass.
Well, let's be honest about it. In our production meeting last night, we talked about when would the secondary get tested. I did not say that it'd get tested on play number one. I knew as the game went along, they would take their shots, but that, as you said, a bold strike and very successful right out of the gate.
Wait, set. Wide, 80.
The first carry for the legend, it's Bo Jackson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Second and 12 at the 20.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12.
450.
To throw, it's Brady. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. Aaron Donald able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. On third and long, it's Brady. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. They've got his man complete. Past the 20. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Let's go. 15 line. 15 line. You ain't got nothing.
Kill, kill, kill.
Big river. Big river.
Here's Marcus Allen, who won a Super Bowl MVP with the Raiders. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Hey, check 24. Check 24.
Now a play fake. Carr. Escaping the pressure right. Space to maneuver at the 40. And all the way up to the 46. A gain there of 21 yards.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
Set. 50. Plant.
50. Check my 50. He's tired of me.
Let's go.
On first down, Allen. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. 20. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Marcus Allen, 54 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate, big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Wait, set. 53.
He's scared. Slam.
Jugger.
They'll begin the drive with Jackson on the ground. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Target. He's coming.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
A clash of two of the more fervent fan bases around. The Cowboys and the Raiders are underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
I go Will Yellow. Hey, 43. Check 43.
On first down, Mahomes. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack.
Khalil Mack, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. To throw, it's Mahomes. And right away, he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And 1st and goal is one.
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Let's go now. 30 base. Let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
14 yards. That's good for a Vikings first down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Look at me, zipper. You gonna see me in your nightmare.
Now this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at their 48-yard line.
Mike. Watch Mike. Watch Mike. Give me that ball, defense.
Ready?
Now Cook. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And finally down at the 9-yard line. And he'll wind up taking this all the way down to the Raiders' 9. And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined. No one touched him at all. A free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Bailey got the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Wait, set. Wide, 20.
Check. No. Hey, let's get this. Check 9, check 8.
They run on 1st down with Jackson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting
pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Give the sack to Lawrence Taylor. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to Matt.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back